there, Aries. Welcome to a Tarotscope for the week beginning August 1st. This is Sagittarius Yogini, and I want to say that Tarotscope means part of it's going to be astrology, and I wanted to make you aware of a couple of important transits that are occurring in the next week. On the 4th of August, there is a new moon at 12 degrees of Leo. And this falls in your 5th house, which is such a great house. Now, you are the template, the universal template of the chart. So every, transit, when there's a certain event, like a new moon or a full moon, it's going to happen in the house that it represents. So this is Leo's new moon in Leo's house in astrology. And the 5th house is creativity, it's love, it's children, it's the business that you own. So all of these things, pastimes or hobbies, it can be anything that you find enjoyable, what you do in your leisure hours, pleasure. So a new moon here can be anything from finding a new hobby that you really like, falling in love. I mean, the sky's the limit. And the very next day, there's going to be a Mercury retrograde in Virgo. So in the house that Virgo rules, the 6th house, and Virgo's ruled by Mercury. So that's Mercury, a Mercury ruled house. So that's the house of employment, also health and your daily routine. So there could be some kind of, some lost communication if you've been applying for a job and you don't hear back. It might be because it's going to take longer. They misplaced your application. To me, it can even be like negotiations that have to do with moving forward with a certain job, but it goes back into the 5th house on the 14th and then direct on the 28th. When it's in the 5th house, this is the house of love, so this can be hearing back from a past love interest. For Mercury retrograde, we can all, no matter what house it's in, hear back from somebody that we haven't heard from in a while. So whether these two, it could be a situation of like, I'm not sure if I want to work at this job. Maybe I should dust off this idea that I had for my own business when Mercury goes back into the 5th house, and kind of mulling that over. So by the time September arrives, Mercury will have been regaining strength, and you should be well on your way to going after something with a whole new mentality. Let's put it that way. So let's look at the cards. I'm just going to cut them in half. It's going to be a simple 4-card spread. Okay. So you got a couple of tough cards here, I'm not going to lie, but that's, hopefully you can't hear the lawnmower outside, but I'm sorry if you can. The 5 of Pentacles can be lack consciousness. It can be actual unemployment. Sometimes it can be money problems, but sometimes it can just be worry about finances, even if there's not necessarily something to truly worry about. And I don't really feel that this is the nature of Aries people in general. So I would have to say that if you have been worrying about your finances or anything like that, then you probably have the moon in Cancer or, something like that, or Taurus, and you're just somebody who finds safety in having a nice full bank account, because Aries people are pretty courageous in all areas of life and enterprising, adventurous. If something isn't working, you'll try it. Even like sometimes going out on a limb and doing something kind of risky. Um, I think that the other meaning for this card is that they're turning their backs on that stained glass window, which happens to contain pentacles, which relates to the pentacles relate to the earth energy, so Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, but also the stained glass represents a church. So it's the person who is not really honoring the spiritual and too focused on the material. So that could be what's going on. And you might not be totally worried, but you're just consumed. Let's put it that way. What crosses you is the Six of Swords. So this could be a situation where you're not willing to leave. This is like choosing peace. And it's funny because I know Aries people, they're you're ruled by Mars, the god of war. So choosing a battle can be right up your alley. If you think it's a worthy battle, you may engage in it. And this, like I think also of relationships. If you, with the Five of Pentacles, if you're staying with someone because you fear that there's, you would be alone, possibly because you're too old or whatever people say, or there's just not that many people out there. That kind of thinking can stem from a refusal to leave, to choose peace. And why would an Aries person do that? Because you may feel in some kind of a twisted way. Now, I don't mean to be insulting by saying twisted, but you may feel in a strange way that this may kind of suck you in other words, if you're having some kind of like contentious relationship. And so sometimes Aries people genuinely confuse drama with passion. And they don't understand that they're not in a relationship that is good for them. And because their whole life is, your whole life may be kind of surrounding fighting one battle or another. And at some point, there has to be this idea that comes to you that peace is desirable. You may, when you're younger, think peace is boring, that having too much harmony is like a sign that something isn't good or that you're not attracted to someone. And, as an Aries person goes through different relationships, they find out that that's not the case. And this is a, overgeneralization, but this is just kind of like to illustrate the thinking that could be going on. And the same thing applies for work matters. You may be used to getting in some kind of a battle where, you want to make more money or whatever. And it's like, what do I do? But it's like you kind of get sucked into that drama of it. And that can sustain you, strangely enough. What's coming in is the Nine of Swords. This is kind of this is the card of anxiety. So this can indicate to you that you have to change course because it is greatly affecting you, whatever the situation is. And this is connected to the air signs. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, but it's also connected to your thoughts or your mind or strife. What's the other word besides strife? There's another word, conflict, I think, that's connected to the swords. And then you realize, whoa, this is too heavy. This is too much. I do need to find some other way to deal with this because it's not going to work. And the outcome is the Ace of Swords. This is a great card because I always think of Ace as Aries because it's kind of that initiation. And this is the initiation into a whole new way of thinking. And therefore you can act on that thinking where you have that moment of clarity, where you can see exactly what's happening and why it's happening. And you can choose to do better, so that you're not and that means that you probably, this card can be even relocation to somewhere else. So if you are living in a place where there's a lack of work and you, for some reason, you're holding on to this place, you may come to realize, whoa, wait a second. What am I doing here? I need to change things up. So yeah, that's what I have for you. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, the link is below. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.